So if life's a test, who's the professor? And what constitutes the classroom? Are there TAs? What are the study materials? And when we think of tests, the objective is to score as close to 100% as we can, or to get an A plus. But life is so subjective. So what does scoring 100% mean? That's a good question, and I want to talk about that today. The way I would look at it is, what does 100% of your maximum potential look like? What is your wildest dream, and what does that look like to you? I have a few friends who feel this way, and you might as well, but it seems there's like an internal call to greatness, to do something really truly meaningful and impactful with your life, a drive to help others and those around you. What are these pangs you get deep inside your heart amidst times of clarity? And so that's the test. The test is working to realize 100% of what your potential could be. And I think people have a very limiting view of what their potential is. As a Christian, as somebody who believes in God as my Father and Jesus Christ as my Savior, when your identity is not based on political views or social issues, but rather on being a son or daughter of God, that gives you so much more drive and desire to fulfill whatever God's purpose is for you to be here on earth. And that is crucial to waking up every day with the discipline necessary to, again, realize this potential. And so if that's the test, what's the answer? Well, I think you know the answer. You know the answer. You know what you must do each and every day to become what you're supposed to become. You're playing yourself if you succumb to the excuses that are so easy to use. If you write off doing what you want to do because it's crazy or it's illogical or people are going to judge you, then boom, you're going to fail the test. You are already failing the test. You're wasting priceless energy on comparisons from others that don't even matter, and you're wasting energy into people and things and time wasters that do not respect you. If you were to strip off all the excess things that you do in your life and just hammer out day in, day out, those few small, simple things you need to do to accomplish the goals you want to accomplish, you would then be charting a course to pass the test of life. The answer that you don't want to admit is permanent action. I've struggled with this. I've struggled long and hard about this. I've talked about my dreams for the last decade of my life, and it's only now that I'm starting to work and put in the permanent action necessary to accomplish those. It does not have to be clean or perfect or without failure or mess or without chaos. In fact, I'd argue it needs those elements. That this test, unlike many other tests, the process is going to be ugly, and in that ugliness there's beauty. There's beauty to be found in the struggle. Like J. Cole, my favorite rapper of all time, says, it's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. That means that as you're going through life and you have this goalpost near off in the future of somebody you want to become, a husband you want to become, a father, a friend, a leader, a entrepreneur, that goalpost from that point to where you are now, there is a course to get there. And that course is going to require you to, again, completely and honestly be vulnerable with yourself and just act relentlessly towards that. And along that journey, you are going to fail so hard and so fast, and that's good. That's expected. That's needed in order to pass this test. The only way you're going to get that 100% is when you're on your deathbed and you're able to look at the mirror and a person staring back at you and have nothing but admiration and respect for that person. And I don't want this to be no like clickbait garbage trigger words about motivation and drive and passion. No, bullcrap. Like, Forget all of that. It's ugly. Like the process of doing this is lonely, it's ugly, it's not always fun, but you know that that why that's driving you is so much greater than the obstacles in front of you. That's the cold truth, and nobody really wants it. Anybody who just talks about it and makes excuses truly doesn't want it bad enough. Everybody is just too busy feeling sorry for themselves. You have to look inside and realize that all the answers, you already know them. There isn't going to be a podcast you listen to. There isn't going to be a motivational playlist you play every morning. There isn't going to be a friend who dedicates their life to helping you accomplish your goals. It's you. It's you versus you versus you versus you every day, all day for the rest of your life. And when you realize that it's only you versus you, you have a critical choice to make. You can either accept the fact that you're vulnerable and you're done lying to yourself and making excuses and actually make a difference, or accept that you don't have what it takes to do those things you want to do. It's about those like mornings when you wake up with nothing but friction on the mind, when there's nothing more you'd rather do than hit snooze and go to bed. And I'm not talking you gotta wake up at 4 a.m. and you gotta run 30 miles to start your day. I'm just talking about those mornings when you're alone and you're praying to God and you're reading the Bible and you're choosing to sacrifice time on your phone for time of reading and time training, and you're choosing to actually work and stop letting your days just fly by. You're choosing to go outside and be healthy and eat the right foods. It's just like a stack of choices you're going to be making that are going to turn you into the person you want to become over a stretch of time. And I think the coldest reality about this is most people just feel so empty inside. If you were to do one of those interviews on the street and just ask people if they feel like they're missing something, so many people would say yes. And if I'm being honest with myself, I felt like I've been missing something the last few months. I feel like my life's been on pause. I made a video about that. Like something's missing. It's like this ethereal concept. What's missing is the lack of work and effort that I'm putting into who I want to become. Like my days are empty of purpose and I'm waiting for things in the future to like come and hit me and fall in my lap. I have some like trips I'm going on this summer and I find myself with like a month and a half left until those trips, almost like counting down the days and writing off each day I'm living as just like, it's just another day closer to that. What's the point then? Like, what's the point of life if I can't just be? Like, if I can't just exist and find purpose in being? That's the test. That's the answer, is like, wake up every day and not have the feeling of missing anything because you're just filled with nothing but purpose and drive for what's to come and what you can become. And again, day by day, week by week, month by month, year over year, compounded over time, there won't be any room to feel empty inside. Again, you know the answers, so just put them to use. And if you're not going to do that, just accept that fact and be okay with it. And that's how most people live. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I could be one of those people. I've been one of those people. But the point is to try and like overcome that mountain of average and normal and be somebody truly incredible that makes a difference. I'll close with a quote I once wrote. And I wrote this when I was going through a lot of hardships, but it's amazing what starts to happen when you start listening to the person you know you're supposed to become. I think that hits kind of hard. Maybe it's a little too poetic, but it's amazing what happens when you start to listen to the person you know you're supposed to become. So start listening. Bye.